6 months, that's what she said, sitting behind that desk with her hands folded, calm as anything. 6 months. And the strangest thing happened. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I just sat there. And for the first time in 76 years, I felt completely awake. I almost didn't drive home that day. I sat in the parking lot of that medical building for a long time, engine off, just watching people move in and out through those glass doors. A young mother with a stroller, a teenager on his phone, not looking at anything, an old couple walking slowly, side by side, not talking, just walking, all of them living like they had forever. I used to be one of those people. My name is Margaret, Margaret Louise Haynes. I am 76 years old, and up until that Tuesday afternoon in April, I had lived the way most women of my generation lived, quietly, efficiently, and always in service of something outside myself. The house, the children, the schedule, the expectations of a world that rewarded women who kept things running smoothly and never asked for much in return. I was very good at that. Too good, maybe. I raised 3 children, mostly alone. My husband Gerald was there, physically there, but Gerald was the kind of man who believed providing was the same as being present. He worked, I managed everything else, the school pickups and the doctor appointments and the birthday parties and the arguments and the tears and the 1,000 invisible things that hold a family together. I did not resent him for it, not exactly. It was simply how things were, how things had always been for women like me in houses like ours in the years we came up in. When Gerald passed, 11 years ago now, a heart attack, very sudden, I discovered something I hadn't expected. I didn't know what to do with quiet. The children were grown. The house was clean. The schedule that had defined every day of my adult life had simply stopped, and I rattled around that house the way an old key rattles in a lock that no longer fits anything. I kept busy, that was my solution, volunteered at the church, helped with the grandchildren when I was asked, called my daughter Susan on Sundays, talked about recipes and weather and the grandchildren's school performances. She'd ask how I was doing, I'd say fine, she'd say good, and we'd hang up, both of us satisfied we'd checked the box. That was my life, organized, tidy, and almost completely empty. I told myself it was enough. The diagnosis was ovarian cancer, stage 3, caught late, the way it often is, quiet and invisible until it isn't. My doctor, a young woman, steady eyes, clearly experienced at delivering this particular kind of news, explained everything carefully. 6 months was the honest estimate, possibly more with aggressive treatment, possibly less. I thanked her. That's the part that still catches me. I sat across from a woman who had just told me my life had a visible ending, and I thanked her. 50 years of gracious composure, old habits.
But driving home, or trying to, I pulled over twice on the highway, just sat on the shoulder with the hazard lights blinking, hands in my lap. Something was happening inside me I didn't have a name for. It wasn't exactly fear. It was more like the sudden silence after a noise you've lived with so long you stopped hearing it. The noise of later, of next week, of when the grandchildren are older, of I'll think about that when things settle down. All of it gone, because there was no more later, not an open-ended one, and without later to lean on, I had only now, just now.
She came that weekend, drove 3 hours without being asked, showed up Saturday morning with groceries and that particular expression on her face, the one she used to get as a little girl when she was trying very hard not to cry in front of me. We sat at the kitchen table for most of the day. We talked about things we had never talked about, her marriage, which was harder than she had been letting on, in ways I hadn't known because I hadn't asked, her work, a job she had stayed in for 12 years, not because she loved it, but because it felt safe, and she had learned somewhere along the way that safe was enough. And then she told me something that sat with me for a long time after she left. She said, "Mum, when I was about 14, I wrote you a letter about how I was feeling, about some things that were hard for me that year." I didn't remember the letter. She said she had slipped it under my bedroom door one evening. She said she had waited 3 days. I never mentioned it. She eventually assumed I hadn't found it, or that I had found it and decided not to bring it up. Either way, she stopped waiting, folded herself back into the shape that was expected of her, helpful, cheerful, fine, and never tried again. I don't know what happened to that letter. I truly don't remember it. But she had carried that 3-day wait for over 30 years. I reached across the table and took both her hands, and I said, "Susan, I am so sorry. I should have been paying better attention. I should have always been paying better attention." She didn't say it was fine. She just held my hands. That was the right thing, the honest thing. In the weeks after the diagnosis, something shifted in the way I moved through my days. Not in a dramatic way. I didn't book a trip somewhere far away. I didn't make sweeping declarations. I simply started slowing down in places I had always rushed through. The way the morning light comes through the kitchen window just after 7, a particular warm gold that lasts maybe 15 minutes before it changes. I had lived in that house for 32 years, and I don't think I had ever simply stood in it. Gerald used to linger at that window with his coffee. I used to think he was wasting time. I understood now what he was doing. He was paying attention. He was collecting the morning before it became the day. I had been doing the dishes. I started writing letters by hand. My fingers made it slow and difficult, but I did it anyway because there was something about putting a pen on paper that felt more honest than anything typed on a screen. To Susan, to my son, Robert, who I had not had a real conversation with in almost 2 years,
Not because of any argument, just because the calls had gotten shorter and shorter until they were mostly logistics. To my oldest friend, Patricia, who I had been meaning to visit for 4 years and kept postponing. Patricia called me 2 days after she received her letter. She cried. I let her. Then I cried too, properly, for the first time since Gerald's funeral, and we stayed on the phone for nearly 2 hours. She asked me at some point, "Margaret, why did it take something like this?" I didn't have a clean answer, only the true one, that I had always assumed there was more time, that the conversations worth having could wait until the grandchildren were older, until I felt less tired, until some quieter season arrived when I would finally have the space to say the things that mattered. That quieter season never arrived on its own. It took a diagnosis to make me stop waiting for it.
The 6 months came and went. I'm still here, past the estimate, which my doctor calls encouraging, and I call a second chance I did not earn but intend to use carefully. The number itself stopped meaning much to me somewhere along the way. Whether it's 6 more months or 6 more years, the arithmetic was never really the point. The point is what I do with the mornings. Last Sunday, Susan came with her husband and their 2 girls. We sat on the back porch for most of the afternoon, doing nothing particular. Her youngest fell asleep against my shoulder, that particular warm weight of a sleeping child that I had forgotten the feeling of. Her older girl sat beside me for nearly an hour, showing me drawings she had made at school, explaining every single detail of every single one, while I listened to every word. I didn't look away once. That sounds like a small thing. It wasn't. Robert came the following weekend. We went for a slow walk around the neighborhood. My knees don't allow for much more than slow these days. And we talked the way we hadn't talked since he was a teenager, about his life, his fears, the version of himself he was still trying to figure out at 51. About Gerald, about things he had wondered about his father for years and never asked. I couldn't answer all of it. Some of Gerald's interior life remained private even from me. But I could sit with the questions. I could stay in the conversation instead of redirecting it towards something easier. That was new. That was something I should have learned decades ago. I think about Gerald more honestly now than I ever allowed myself to before. Not with the edited grief I carried for the first few years after he was gone, the grief that remembered only the good and kept the complicated parts in a drawer somewhere, but honestly, the whole of him. The way he lingered at the kitchen window every morning while I was already 3 tasks ahead of myself. The way he would sometimes reach for my hand at the dinner table and I would be up refilling someone's glass before his fingers could close around mine. The way he used to say, "Slow down, Maggie." He was the only one who called me Maggie, and I would smile and nod and keep moving. He knew something I didn't. Or maybe he knew the same thing I knew and simply chose differently. I'll never be entirely sure. What I am sure of is this. I had 31 years with that man. Good years, complicated years, ordinary years. And I spent too many of them moving through them rather than in them. The ordinary moments were the whole thing. I understand that now. I don't know how much time I have left. Nobody does, really. The diagnosis just made that truth impossible to ignore. What I know is this. I am paying attention now to Susan's voice when she calls, to the light through this window every morning, to the people who come to sit beside me, who deserved more of my presence than I gave them when I still believed there would always be more time. There is still time. Not the comfortable, endless kind I used to assume, but there is still time, and I intend to be present inside every minute of it. If the people you love are still here, don't wait. Not for a quieter season, not for when things settle. Say what needs to be said now, while there is still time to look up. This channel carries stories like mine. If this one stayed with you, we would be glad to have you here. Subscribe so these voices find you when you need them.